WVTT Sports.
Good evening. In the SBU corner of WVTT Channel 25 Sports, I'm sports intern Ryan Lazo. Check your calendars. Yes, March Madness started last night, but it has an entirely different feel on the Bonham campus this year than last year. The Bonham men's and women's basketball teams failed to qualify for the NCAA tournament.
Last season, the men and women's teams made history. The women going to the Sweet 16 after going undefeated in Atlantic 10 Conference play, and the men going on a late season run to capture an Atlantic 10 Conference crown and an automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. And as exciting as campus was last year during the historical run, it's just as quiet this time around.
Campus was just in an uproar. They were so filled with enjoyment, and like they just wanted to celebrate, and because it's never happened where the men's and women's team have never made the NCAA tournament in the same season. So, and then for this year, basically it's just really quiet. It just sounds like crickets.
Well, while both teams cannot live up to their play from last season, they both provided some exciting moments and memorable performances, like Mosley's three-point barrage. It's those performances that make seeing March Madness on TV without the Bonnies bearable.
Look at the season they had. I mean, Beatrice Conger had a great season. He picked up where Nicholas had left off, and he tried to do the best he could, but it's the season that we wouldn't like to forget, but it's, I don't know, disappointment.
The Bonnies will be competing in an entirely different Atlantic 10 Conference next season. In addition to the scheduled departures of Temple and Charlotte, Butler and Xavier announced earlier today that they too will be leaving the A-10 to head over to the Big East. Expect the Atlantic 10 to want to add at least 2 more teams, with the rumored schools being Davidson, George Mason, and Siena. In the SBU corner on WVTT Channel 25 Sports, I'm Ryan Lazo.
With Headline Sports, I'm Curtis Silva. The NCAA tournament opened with an absolute thriller between North Carolina A&T and Liberty. The game coming down to a missed chance by John Caleb Sanders after he drove the ball from one end of the court to the other before missing a left-handed layup. He would fall to the floor in anguish as Liberty becomes the first victim of March Madness, losing this one 73-72. In the other play-in game, St. Mary's comfortably beat Middle Tennessee 67-54. Matthew Dellavedova scored a game-high 22 points, and St. Mary's moves on and will play Memphis on Thursday in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The defending national champion Kentucky Wildcats were snubbed from the NCAA tournament, but were a top seed in the opening round of the NIT, taking on Robert Morris. The bad news for Kentucky is they had to play this game at Robert Morris because Rupp Arena is hosting NCAA tournament games, and that would be unlucky for the Wildcats. Mike McFadden would give Robert Morris a 4-point lead on this dunk. 8.7 seconds to go, Kentucky down 2 with a chance to tie or win the game, and Kyle Wilcher's 3 is no good, and Robert Morris shocks the Wildcats, winning this one 59-57. The Miami Heat aren't the only team putting together an impressive win streak this season. The Denver Nuggets have quietly been racking up the wins and made it 13 in a row after beating Oklahoma City 114-104. Ty Lawson and Andre Miller both had big games for the Nuggets, scoring 25 and 20 points respectively. Denver's 13-game win streak is the 3rd longest in the NBA this season. And finally, the Dominican Republic beat Puerto Rico 3-0 to win the World Baseball Classic. Edwin Encarnacion hit a 2-run double in the first inning to put the Dominican Republic up by 2. Then in the 9th, Fernando Rodney closed it out, striking out Luis Figueroa to end the game. The Dominicans finished the World Baseball Classic 8-0. With Headline Sports, I'm Curtis Silva.